Hello, everybody. Welcome to another fun little check-in. Today, I wanted to talk a bit more about Animal Crossing. It's been a little bit since I last talked about this game and my thoughts around it. And I've kind of, obviously, I think if you see my first video and my last, I'm playing the game a little bit. Obviously, I played the game before. I know what that was like, but I wanted to kind of have a bit of a retrospective, kind of looking back at my more recent experience compared to how I experienced the game when I had first played it. But yeah, and a lot of this is in tandem with the Shy Guy Brigade and our new season of Survillager, which I'm very excited to share with you all and announce officially it is starting now. You can watch the first episode on the channel right now. I'll actually link it in the little eye icon, all of that fun stuff. So do check out that episode. That one I think is more, it's maybe a bit more polished than this one, but also I like the just sort of chatty, ranty videos like this. So if you do too, make sure to stick around and then watch that video after. Very excited for season 2. Ton of fun stuff going on. I'll be bringing up Survillager as well in this rant as we go, but yeah, make sure to check that out when you have a moment. So I had gone and played this game a bit more, sort of did I feel like a lot of what the game expected me to a bit more. Where originally I really focused in on just making money and, fishing and catching bugs and, all that fun stuff to raise my debt, right? And, a lot of that was done, right? Still a part of the game, but I spent a lot more time this time around sort of building out the town, putting it up a little bit, doing a lot more with the paths. Last time I played this, I did almost nothing with pathing, and now look at how cool this little like rocky grass nature intersection is. Oh, I love it. I'm in love with it. Really love how that turned out. I really love how my entire city turned out. I still think there's a lot more to build out with this island, but I'm also really excited by that fact, right? Originally, I had sort of seen this game as like a hyper aggressive exterior land builder. And by that I mean you're expected to build a metro or a sort of a more or a less natural looking place. But kind of looking back at this and just like appreciating some of the natural formations, like this heart, completely natural. I didn't edit any of this. I added these little bushes, but just adding these little nuanced touches to things felt really satisfying to kind of build out and grow. And I never really thought that was something that in also it's Sunday, by the way, but he's here. I don't know why. Very strange tangent, but like look at this as well. Like, I love this design. Oh my gosh, the path designs are so fun. I really sort of grew an appreciation for developing out the town in a much more intuitive, it's still natural looking way. The houses have these unique colors and paths to them that are really cool and I'm really excited about. Some of them more natural looking, other ones sort of indicating who lives there, just based on color schemes and whatnot. So really cool stuff. I really love just how the little path designs kind of add to the world. And yeah, I'm just in love with that aspect of the game a lot more now. Something that I never really got from the original Animal Crossings was that design eye, right? Like I never really cared to be much of a designer in these games. I didn't mind it, like for my house, for example, right, with Animal Crossing, but otherwise I really cared about like the villager interactions, and it's still something I do deeply care about in these games. I think it's one of the most important factors to a good Animal Crossing game is how do you interact with the villagers around you and you really have a good time. But yeah, as you can see also, a lot of edits to the house as well. Some really nice paintings. I don't know if they're real or not. They might not be. Let me know in the comments if you know the fraudulent paintings by hand. But I like the design, so I was like, cool, I'll give them my house. I haven't even got them appraised yet because I'm just like, I'm not gonna donate them anyway. Oh, I forgot about this room. We don't talk about this room. But yeah, I think I've definitely grown a bit more of an appreciation for this game. I think as well, like Survillager really inspired a lot of that, if that makes sense, right? Like there's a lot of just extra connections that I am building with some villagers. Like Savannah, I think is such a great example for me. Savannah is a villager who, I guess spoilers for season one if you didn't watch season one of Survillager on the Shotgun Brigade. Savannah is one of the few villagers that remained for my first season. Um, and I guess as well, an explainer for Survillager, if you don't know what that is basically Survivor meets Animal Crossing, where every week we go in and play a sort of video game competition, and then whoever loses that competition loses a villager in their town. We replace them with amiibo cards. Um, First to X amount of wins. We don't eradicate the entire village. Maybe in future we can consider it, but for now it's me and Jen Spitz doing that. Just having a really good time. Again, forget about this room. I get back into it all the time. I don't know why. It's a very strange thing. Um, but yeah, that's basically it. And Savannah was one of the three that had remained in my village, and I really never cared too much for Savannah. I don't mind Savannah. Um, and I think even more deeply with Paula, somebody else who like I really never cared for Paula, never liked Paula, and then Paula like again spoilers for season one. Watch season one; it's still very watchable, trust me. But every time Paula would be up for elimination, would always come out on top, and still remains in my village today. And so it's just like those legendary like moments out of the game that add that extra dimension for me that I'm like, yo, this is really cool. I really like these villagers now. Um, so yeah, like just adding that extra bit of dimensionality, like it adds so much to the experience as well. Um, and it's really nice. It's been a really relaxing game for me. It's sort of been a go-to pickup every time I'm like, I don't know what to play. I'm just gonna play some Animal Crossing and just pick that up and play that. Multiverse has sort of stunted that a little bit because Multiverse is now that game for me to an extent, but it's still just a really nice, relaxing time to just sort of wind down, play some Animal Crossing, talk to the villagers who talk to the few that I'm like, hey, I really built some rapport with you. I really appreciated all that you did in the Survillager series. Again, just adding that extra layer to a lot of these people. It's really fun and cool. And also, I think just exposure and time, sort of like hanging around and seeing what they like to do and their interests. There's a lot of subtle ways that this game gives character to these villagers, and I really appreciate that. As somebody who kind of comes from the old school games where it is about the villagers, I still don't like how they treat you like God King, where it's just like, hey, oh my gosh, I miss you so much. It's like I kind of miss them being rude sometimes because it's just nature, right? Relationships have good and bad. And I really liked that from the older games where it was just like some people just really didn't like you, you know. Maybe that's just a weird thing for me, but I don't think I'm alone when I say that. There's like a lot more editing I have to do with like the top bit. I'm not gonna do it for season 2 probably. It'll probably be the season 3 thing if season 3 ever gets confirmed or not. We'll kind of see how this one performs and how fun it is. I think more than likely we'll do season 2 because also we just love to do it. We both have sort of gained, at least I mean, I'll speak for myself. I'm not gonna speak for Jen. But I think Jen would agree where it sort of has reinvigorated the love for Animal Crossing we've had because there's so much, like, obviously we're doing content around it, so we want to make sure our village looks like semi-decent. Jen's looks amazing. Mine's still kind of a work in progress, but much better, right? And also like, and it again, it adds that extra dimension to the villagers, which I think is so massive, right? And you just notice the little things a bit more with these characters now because you want to. I think that's sort of been the lesson for me. I think my last video I was just like, oh, the dialogue's the same, but I don't even talk to them anymore. Like I sort of just get all my like personality and characteristics that I want from these villagers just by kind of being around them and seeing what they're up to, and also just knowing their status. Like Buck, a survivor from season 1, Legend. I don't know a lot about these characters yet, but I'm so excited to learn more about them through Survillager this year. So I'm very excited to kind of go through that. Hopefully with you guys as well on the Shotgun Brigade channel. That's pretty much it for the rant section of this video. I kind of wanted to go into season 1 as well. Talk about my experience with season 1. And how we've sort of hopefully reinvented the wheel a little bit with season 2 and took a bit more care into some things. So I think just to start, we're going to kind of go into... Oh my gosh, my face cam. I forgot I moved it. Okay, hopefully it wasn't too bad. Or too distracting. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go into what season 1 looked like. Kind of what we've learned from season 1. Some of the fun things that we've grabbed that maybe like behind the scenes that you don't know about Survillager Season 1, for those who are interested. And if you aren't interested at the moment, but you want to become interested, again, feel free to check out the Shaggy channel. Season 1's all on a playlist. Put that in the eye icon as well. I think I might already put it in the eye icon. I don't know. If I didn't, it's there again. But yeah, it's a really fun project that me and Jen are working on. And this time it was a lot more collaborative too. So originally, this idea spawned mainly from me. And then Jen sort of backed up a lot of the game ideas, although not all of them. And it definitely showed in some instances where things just were literally run by one person, being myself, and not double checked, and all of the things that can happen if you are a singular person doing making something, right? More feedback, the better. Always going to be the case. Let me catch this real quick. Sorry. Distractions. This looks like a really good fish. So, also why we can't do Animal Crossing solely for the game, because it gets really slow. Yeah, I had a good feeling about that one. It's new fish for me. Anyways, sorry. Important. That was important stuff for me. Important stuff. But yeah, I wanted to get talking to a bit more about Season 1's Villager, sort of behind the scenes. And, again, this was originally like my idea mainly. I just sort of had an Excel of like 20 games that I knew me and Jen had that we were able to play for this with like a unique challenge and twist to it. It was really inspired, obviously by Survivor, but also by Taskmaster, a show on YouTube where there's these comedians, and basically all they do is they do like these weird, unique tasks, not necessarily tied to games, but that was sort of the inspiration for some of the challenges involved, where like, how can we incorporate unique, fun challenges into games that also come off as really entertaining? And yeah, overall, I'm happy with the end product. I'm really happy with how some episodes turned out. I'm a little more disappointed in how others turned out. So I'll kind of jump into what that exactly looks like. Let me pull up. Honestly, we'll just roll with this. Bit scuffed. Don't mind me. Maybe even like, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, talking through Survillager Season 1. So the original episode, Zagreus finds the Money Rock. Again, for those who are unaware, every episode we do is random. There's a wheel that we spin, has about 20 plus games on it. All the games have their own topics. Some of them are going to be reused, not reused. Well, some of them are going to be reused, but also some are going to be taken from Season 1 and just applied to Season 2 because we never got to play it, right? But yeah, the original one was Hades. That was the first episode. I was so happy to see Hades, because also that's a game that I knew me and Jen were like super even in, so it would really get the idea across very well. And that episode, long, but there's a reason why it's long, because it was so good. It was such a good first episode. Really had a fun, unique idea where we just started from a new save file, and first one to beat the second boss wins, right? We're both like good at the game. We're both not great at the game. So it was really good. It was good to see that sort of balance for this first episode, and also introduce a unique twist around like who gets eliminated potentially, because some of the challenges have eliminations and some don't. And this was like, this is what I want this challenge to be, where it's a fun gaming challenge that really grabs the heart of the game, but also applies a unique twist to it that works really well in the situation. So, huge fan of the Hades challenge. Really happy with how that turned out. Once that one had gone through, I was like, okay, this is exactly what I want to hit. This is what I keep hitting with a lot of these challenges. Episode 2, a similar vibe. I really enjoyed the vibes of this episode. I didn't necessarily think it was even. I kind of went into this knowing that there were a few games that were a little less even on my side, but I was okay with that. Again, I created it, right? Now that there's like a two-person team kind of working on this, I feel like there's a lot more even matches, because, Jen great sports, right? We don't want to end up having an overbalanced game where one person wins over the other. So yeah, that episode 2 was really fun. Good vibes, good times. Introduced the two-person elimination game, which was really good. And yeah, it was just a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. I love the intro to that one especially. That was just a really fun intro, really gripping. Episode 3, Violet Thrones from Angry Bees. So this is the first sort of hurdle we ran into with this series, where the challenge was not exactly what needed to be hit. And again, I think I mentioned earlier, like when one person designs this thing, it really is not like a good path forward. And part of why I was the main person to design it was because I kind of did keep it a bit of a secret from Jed, to be honest. Like I didn't want to like go into too many of the details, and You know, obviously from that you don't really have an idea if you're on Jen's perspective of like, I don't really know like what exactly is going on. That was kind of my point. I really wanted that effect. But I'd given just a very brief overview, and then obviously I think as we went along, Jen was like, okay, I completely understand what's going on, and hopefully they like it, anyways. But yeah, episode 3 was the first one that kind of struggled. It had a challenge that was doable in like 5 hours of game time, and I didn't realize that going into it. And obviously, just a quick wiki would have helped. I was in the mindset of like, oh, but if I wiki things, like I'm gonna have an advantage because I know exactly what I need to do. No, that's not the case at all. If anything, I can just tell Jen what I learned from the wiki, and then we're on even footing. But more importantly, it's just understanding chapter numbers, right? In that game, where I thought something was happened a lot sooner in the game than it actually did, and it's a funny episode. It's a very funny episode. Please check it out. It's so good. Yeah, this whole series is available on the Check Out Brigade channel. Really solid stuff. I'm not gonna get into too heavy into spoilers. But yeah, just super fun stuff. Super fun stuff. Falling for Tom Nook's schemes. That was a Fall Guys episode. Another banger episode. Another banger episode. That was the first one that sort of utilized a very creative topic, where we had utilized Fall Guys Stage Builder and actually created stages around things. Like, it was really solid stuff. Once we had that experience, that was probably I would motion to say that's Jen's favorite episode. I really enjoyed it as well. Probably top 3 for me. Really good stuff. Just really fun. And there's a lot more of the creative challenges in this next season that I'm very excited for. A lot more races from the Hades episode, which did really well, and a lot more creative challenges, which I'm very excited to hopefully pull on the wheel here. Crashing the KK Slider concert. Very solid race, right? Again, another race. The race content does really well, and the creative from what we were seeing. So sort of a mix of those two. Again, just another really solid episode there. Another race into bottom of David Jones's locker. Less fair race, but still a race that did pretty well and I think delivered. So very happy with how that one turned out. Battle of Eagles and Birdies, a really fun episode as well. This was just purely about the game at heart. It had some unique twists around the villagers. I didn't really love how this one panned out, but I didn't hate it either. Because it was very close, which was good to see, and love flowers. I don't think you probably saw that, but it's okay. But yeah, no, this was a very fun one. I really enjoyed this. Again, it just kept the heart of the game. I think that was also some of the important stuff as well, where kind of in some of the challenges they didn't quite keep the heart of the game, and so they struggled. I think Fire Emblem, really funny video, don't get me wrong, but the actual aspect of the challenge struggled a bit for sure. So, and that was because it removed the heart of the game, where we were doing a race style video in a game that is not about racing at all. There's really no way to make that connection. So definitely struggled there, to be honest. But nature of the beast sometimes. And I don't think that one was but anyways, I'm talking about a different game. The Battle Eagles and Birdies, fantastic stuff. I loved to see that one come to fruition. Again, it just kept the heart and soul of the game. I think that was also something that I noted kind of from our first experience here. That should be the end of it. Hopefully that picks up everything. Yep. Gotta catch them all. Fish and bugs. This was a Pokemon Showdown challenge about the mini games, which I'd heard a lot about from nostalgia's sake, that they were really fun and endearing. And then I definitely realized very soon that they had just aged really poorly. IMO. Not a huge fan of those mini games overall. I know that Pokemon 2 came out in the middle of us recording this, so we couldn't actually change which Showdown game we were doing. Not Pokemon Showdown, sorry, Pokemon Stadium. I think Showdown because of the computer game. But yeah, look at that guy. So it's not a new catch me, by the way. That big guy. Obviously, you can't see it because the list is in the way. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, so I was not a huge fan of this one. No more Pokemon mini games. I think in general, like a mini game collection like that, where the main thing is around like a side game in the game, it's not something I want to explore too much. There might be a few exceptions, but I need to really make sure that that side game is vetted out. I think we were thinking about Sonic Superstars, like side multiplayer game. But I had tested it out prior and I was like, this is really boring. I don't really like it, and it wasn't very fun. So I ended up removing it from the new seasons list. And I think that was kind of the lesson I learned from this one. Inkling letters to our favorite, or inking letters to our favorite villagers. Love the title because it's so funny. But the actual video was a nightmare. Not a nightmare. Nightmare's strong. But it definitely didn't do the things I wanted it to. Where I was like, oh, all you need to do is find a villager name in your in the game, right? And originally I thought, oh, if we get this early, it'll be pretty easy. If we get it a little later, it'll be a little tougher. We obviously got a little bit later in the list. Turns out, regardless, it was a very, very challenging, um, very challenging challenge. Where and also it was just so luck based. It wasn't entirely luck based. Like I liked that there were certain elements of like who you voted to eliminate, that affected the overall like the potential outcome of this situation. But at the end of the day, once we kind of reviewed everything, we were like, oh, literally nothing got affected. If we had kept all 10 villagers to each of us, we still would have not found the villager names in the comments or the character name or the player names or anything. And again, it also removed the heart of the game, where the heart of the game is it's a first or third person shooter. And we just completely removed it. In part because I was like, oh, I'm at such a disadvantage. I don't play a lot of Splatoon. In part because I wanted just something a little bit more like unique, I guess. And I wanted to kind of add some of these twists and see how they turned out. And fortunately, we pulled it because I was able to see how bad of an idea it was. Um, it was chaotic. It was a fun episode. It turned out okay. But definitely something that I'm going to be avoiding for future. Where again, it removes that heart and soul that goes into the game. Over look at that guy with the green eyes. That's crazy. Sorry. Removes heart and soul of the game for just like a unique or fun idea. Also, I want to remove all luck. All luck games. I mean, luck games are not completely awful. I definitely took some inspiration from Mario Party as well, as like a sort of a tertiary inspiration, like Survillager or sorry, Survivor, Taskmaster, and then Mario Party were like my three inspirations for this. And the last part mainly for like some luck mini games, where I was like, oh, some luck mini games would be fun. I still think there might be some, but I think that there's still like some skill in them as well. So, and obviously there's also luck with which game you pull, because sometimes you'll have an advantage that goes into each game where you'll have a villager and another person won't. That will apply to what you need. So, there's always that aspect as well, which I got to be a little concerned about, but I'm not really worried about that because again, that's where the elimination choices come in, right? The winning player chooses two guys to go for elimination, and then that's what happens, right? They go fight an elimination challenge, and whoever loses is out, right? So I like that aspect of it, so I'm gonna try to keep some of that. But at the end of the day, Ink and Letters was a fun idea and premise. I don't even know if I don't know if that's true, honestly. It was an idea and premise that tried to put a twist on the game that made the elimination challenges or the eliminations more impactful. But in reality, it really didn't make them more impactful because it didn't have any effect, right? I think there was definitely potential for it to have an effect, but it just really didn't. So it's something I got to watch out for future. But yeah, that was definitely the most telling episode where I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I'm glad we didn't start with this because otherwise, I don't know if we would have known season two, just with how bad it went. But I think the concept is so solid. It's just a few things that I really got to work out, and we worked out rather for season two. So I'm very excited to share those. Monkey and Sonic rolling away from the tarantulas. No comment. This is the best episode of Survillager. Please check it out. Simply the best. Again, another race style, so that worked really well. Sonic Sprint towards his final frontier. Very solid episode. Nothing of note there either. It was good. Good stuff. So overall, I'd say like 90% of these are bangers. There's maybe like one or two that kind of struggled in terms of the actual challenge aspect of it. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with how this turned out. So excited to do season two with Jen again on the Shy Guy Brigade. So that's sort of the main 11 videos that came from this original season. Season two is gonna be really fun. There's some really exciting challenges again, a lot more creative ones. Also a lot more balancing as well. So I'd actually taken into consideration like how many boosts certain villagers are getting from certain challenges, which is very exciting. And we have a very exciting twist as well that I'm not going to reveal. A couple of twists actually that sort of add to, or no, only one twist. Yeah, only one twist, only one twist. But the one twist is really exciting, and I think it's gonna be really impactful and really exciting for the future of this series as well. So very excited to share what that looks like kind of once you watch episode one. You should already know what it is. Potentially, we'll see. I don't know when we're gonna reveal it, but I think we're gonna reveal it pretty much right away. So um, definitely keep that in mind. Make sure to watch episode one if you're really curious what that is. But yeah, ton of amazing challenges. We actually went into this with a budget as well, which is really exciting because we got a lot more games involved that I feel like would work super well in tandem with this. And me and Jenna actually worked on the list this time, which was great because we were able to really delineate like some games that even Jenna was looking at and was like, oh, this would work really well for this thing, right? Um, this would work in a better way for this challenge. And we updated some of the challenges from season one that would have been fun but less fun than they are now. So glad we didn't pull some of those, to be honest, and we're able to think through some really fun challenges for those. So yeah, overall I'm just super pumped about this next season, and hopefully you are too. If you haven't checked out the series, it sounds interesting to you, make sure to do so. So sort of like a two-part episode where I wanted to kind of talk through my Animal Crossing stuff and just my experience with the game over the past kind of month or so, but also kind of talk through this new Survillager series, which I'm very excited to share with you all um, over on the Shaggy Brigade. If you don't know about the Shaggy Brigade channel as well, it's basically an extra episode a week from myself and Jen Spins, who does some amazing stuff as well on their channel. Make sure to check them out on the eye icon as well. Maybe in the description somewhere, probably. Also, just in the description of the Shaggy Brigade episode. So, make sure to check that out if you want to check out Jen's channel. Really fun stuff over there. Yeah, I think overall, again, Animal Crossing has been just such a wonderful thing to kind of be back in my life. I've done a lot more with outfits as well, which I'm excited to share. Obviously, this one is really stellar. My best outfit by far. Um, and again, I think just playing the game kind of as it intended a bit more has been really helpful. But also having the fun Survillager twist as well has been incredibly enjoyable for me. And I've had so much fun with this game now. Every time I see Paula, I'm super happy because I'm just like, Paula's a legend, Paula's an absolute legend. I never thought I'd say that about Paula, but after Survillager, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much respect for Paula and how strong they are. Obviously, it's like they're just a villager, right? But like, oh my gosh, if you haven't watched Survillager season one, I swear you're missing out. You're missing out on the Paula lore right now. Paula is a legend. But yeah, regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit ranty, maybe a bit too much promo. Apologies if so. But I just really wanted to share this fun thing with you. If you don't know about it, if you love Animal Crossing, want to kind of hang with us on this fun little gaming journey, I think the challenges are really fun. I think the cooperation with Animal Crossing is super amazing. And I hope that transfers over. And if you're interested, make sure to check it out. Again, this will be the only time I promote, at least on a video format on this channel. Of course, Survillager is something that I spend so much time editing, and it's just such a fun time for me to like not only film it, but also again just sort of create this art. Art is a strong word here. Create this entertainment, I should say. Art, it's not art. not quite art, but it is entertaining. Hopefully, anyway. Also, I missed that bug, and I have never seen that bug before, and I'm really sad about it because it'll probably be another year till I find it, but that's okay. Live on. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe, check out the other videos on the channel. Potentially some updates as well coming to this channel in terms of content and videos and sort of how I'm feeling about them. I like the 5 episodes or 5 videos a week or whatever. But I also really want to create stuff that is a lot more satisfying to make, and also maybe a bit more entertaining, at least on the outset. So I still might do some playthroughs and some let's plays, like Paper Mario and Xenoblade, but I might also opt to lower the amount of uploads per week because A, I just don't have the time, and B, more importantly, is I'm not really happy with the quality a lot of the times of the videos. But yeah, the news in a separate update potentially or potentially not. I might stick with it. We'll see how I feel once this comes out. But yeah, um, might even be updates sooner than later, depending on when our first villager video comes out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm getting too tired, so I'm gonna wrap things up there. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully in Check Eye Brigade video as well. With Survillager season 2, or feel free to check out season 1 as well. And both some amazing stuff in the archive there, and also with a new series coming out. So I'm very excited to share all of that with y'all shortly here. But yeah, otherwise, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.